Today our topic is how to embrace change instead of fearing it. Change is something that happens to everyone, whether we like it or not. Life is always moving, always shifting, and nothing stays the same forever. But even though change is natural, many of us are afraid of it. We feel comfortable with what we know, and the idea of stepping into the unknown can be scary. But what if I told you that change is not something to fear, but something to embrace? What if I told you that change can be your greatest teacher, your most powerful tool for growth? Let me explain why change is not the enemy and how you can learn to welcome it with open arms. First, let's talk about why we fear change. Fear of change comes from uncertainty. When things change, we don't know what will happen next. Our minds like to predict, to plan, and to feel in control. But change takes that control away, even if it's just for a little while. This can make us feel anxious, stressed, or even paralyzed. We worry about the worst-case scenarios. What if I fail? What if things don't work out? What if I lose what I have? These thoughts are normal, but they don't have to control us. The truth is, life is unpredictable, and no matter how much we try to plan, we can't control everything. Accepting this fact is the first step to embracing change. Now, let's talk about why change is good. Change is growth. Think about a tree. A tree doesn't grow by staying the same. It grows by adapting to the seasons, by stretching its roots deeper into the earth, and by reaching its branches higher toward the sun. In the same way, we grow by facing challenges, by learning new things, and by stepping out of our comfort zones. Change pushes us to become stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Without change, we would stay stuck in the same place, never discovering our full potential. Change is the force that moves us forward, even when it feels uncomfortable at first. So how can we start embracing change instead of fearing it? The first step is to shift your mindset. Instead of seeing change as a threat, see it as an opportunity. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I grow? What new doors might open because of this change? When you focus on the possibilities instead of the risks, you start to see change in a new light. This doesn't mean you have to be happy about every change that comes your way. Some changes are hard, and it's okay to feel sad, angry, or scared. But even in those moments, you can choose to look for the silver lining. Another way to embrace change is to practice acceptance. Acceptance doesn't mean you have to like what's happening, but it means you stop fighting against it. When you resist change, you create more suffering for yourself. It's like trying to swim against a strong current. You'll only tire yourself out. But when you accept change, you allow yourself to flow with life, instead of fighting it. This doesn't mean you give up or stop trying to improve your situation. It simply means you stop wasting energy on what you can't control and focus on what you can. One of the best ways to practice acceptance is through mindfulness. Mindfulness is the act of being fully present in the moment, without judgment. When you're mindful, you notice your thoughts and feelings without getting caught up in them. You observe change as it happens without trying to resist it or cling to it. This can help you stay calm and centered, even when life feels chaotic. For example, if you lose your job, instead of panicking or blaming yourself, you can take a deep breath and say, "This is happening. What can I do now?" Mindfulness helps you stay grounded in the present moment, where you have the most power to take action. Another important tool for embracing change is adaptability. Adaptability is the ability to adjust to new situations and find creative solutions to problems. Think of it like being a bamboo tree. Bamboo is strong, but it's also flexible. When a strong wind blows, bamboo bends instead of breaking. In the same way, when life throws challenges your way, you can learn to bend without breaking. Adaptability is a skill, and like any skill, it takes practice. Start by taking small steps out of your comfort zone. Try new things, meet new people, and explore new ideas. The more you practice adaptability, the easier it will be to handle bigger changes when they come. It's also important to build a strong support system. Change can feel less scary when you have people by your side. Surround yourself with friends, family, or mentors who encourage you and believe in you. Share your fears and your dreams with them. Sometimes, just talking about what you're going through can make a big difference. And remember, you don't have to face change alone. Asking for help is a sign of strength, not weakness. Finally, let's talk about the role of gratitude in embracing change. Gratitude is the practice of focusing on what you have instead of what you lack. When you're going through a big change, it's easy to focus on what you've lost or what you're afraid of losing. But if you take a moment to appreciate what you still have, you'll find that there's always something to be grateful for. Gratitude shifts your perspective and helps you see the good in every situation. For example, if you're moving to a new city, instead of focusing on what you're leaving behind, think about the new opportunities this change might bring. Maybe you'll make new friends, discover new places, or learn new skills. Gratitude helps you see change as a gift, not a burden. Now, let's connect this to the philosophy of Stoicism. Stoicism is an ancient philosophy that teaches us how to find peace and happiness, no matter what life throws at us. One of the key ideas in Stoicism is that we can't control what happens to us, but we can control how we respond. This is especially important when it comes to change. The Stoics believed that change is a natural part of life, and resisting it only leads to suffering. Instead, they taught us to focus on what we can control: our thoughts, our actions, and our attitudes. When we accept that change is inevitable, we can stop wasting energy on things we can't change and focus on what really matters. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This is a powerful reminder that we always have a choice. We can't control the changes that come our way, but we can control how we respond to them. We can choose to see change as an opportunity, not a threat. We can choose to be flexible, not rigid. And we can choose to focus on what we can control, instead of worrying about what we can't. This mindset doesn't just help us survive change, it helps us thrive in the face of it. In conclusion, change is a natural and inevitable part of life. It can be scary, but it can also be beautiful. When we learn to embrace change instead of fearing it, we open ourselves up to new possibilities, new experiences, and new growth. We become stronger, wiser, and more resilient. So the next time you face a big change, remember, you have the power to choose how you respond. You can choose to see change as an opportunity. You can choose to accept what you can't control and focus on what you can. And you can choose to face change with courage, gratitude, and an open heart. Change is not the enemy, it's your teacher, your guide, and your path to a better life. Embrace it and watch yourself grow,